Hey, man. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. What's up, people? How y'all doing? Welcome, 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 welcome back. What is going on? What is the goings on, party people? What is the goings on? Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. My name is Tim Black. Hope you can hear me. I see my people in the chat are in the building. I got my moderators, Buck Bewley in the house, Black Mamba in the house. Ebony's in the house. What up, Ebony? What up, sis? How you doing? Ebony, Buck, and Black Mamba, man. 3 the hard way. Man, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Man, it's Friday, family. It's Friday. I miss y'all. You know, I miss y'all, man. It's great to be back amongst my friends. My people, my people, my people. Back doing what we do. I got new templates, but I didn't know it's going to be 2 of me. I didn't know it's going to be 2 of me. Yeah, we do that. It's the Tim Black Show, man. We trying to spruce it up around here a little bit. Do some branding. So people that find the show, they know what they're looking at. But I got to give it to this guy. This guy over here. This guy got to go. This guy. He's got a mean mug, and I don't know about this guy. He's got to cheer up. He's going to be on the Tim Black set. So, I got my people in the building tonight, man. What's up, Elizabeth Lunny, Black Rose? What's happening, y'all? How's the volume? Everybody okay? Can y'all hear the brother? Am I in the building or what, Anthony McDowell? What's up? Tech, what's up? What's the deal, fam? I don't know, man. Look, one day at a time, fam. One day at a time. That's how God give it to me. That's how I'm going to take it. One day, 1 hour at a time, fam. That's all we can do. I said, that's all we can do. What's going on, man? Everybody good? Good. Man, Zen Soulful's in the building. Thank you, Zen. We need to zen out these days. Tay Diggs. Yo, we're only on YouTube. So we got to share to the rest of the internet to give them the opportunity to partaketh. So we got to do that. So now's a good time, guys. While I'm doing it, once you do it. Share this show out on your social media. And let a friend, I said let a friend know that we are live. I'm doing that as we speak. I am doing that as we speak. There we go, guys. We're sharing this now. I'm sharing this now. Real time, Johnson, real time. Here goes my share button. I'm going to put this on, I'm going to put it on X. There we go. Friday Frenzy, copy, paste. We good. We good on X. I'm sharing on X. I'm also going to share on Facebook. If you guys could do the same, that'd be great. As we all know, engagement is important, as well as hitting likes. Can we get some like love, please? Can we get a little like love? Get a little like love in the building. Yeah, man. Little like love in the building. Yeah, can we do that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Got so much going on over here. It's my coffee. Okay. So, anybody heard any good stories lately? Anybody got any good stories? Now look. First things first, man. This is a U.S. politics show. Every once in a while, there'll be somebody come through like Tim Black. Why aren't you talking about caterpillars? Alien abductions. And of course, will Drake ever come back to his prominence in hip-hop? Now, the Drake thing I might do if it's somehow related to something more important. But, and if aliens were landing on the lawns of black community, man, maybe I would address it. Like if there was truly people cloning Tyrone, maybe I would be interested. But for the most part, man, this is a black politics channel. That's what we cover. Politics, U.S. politics, breaking news, black culture. That's what we do here. Shout out to the Dr. Musa Abdullah up there on All Things Education Official. I'm going to holler back at you, fam. Good to see you. Shout out to also my brother Torain Walker out there in TorainWalker.com. He did a Twitter space yesterday that I was unable to attend, but thank you for the invite, brother. Got it late. Anybody else I miss shouting out, man? I like shouting out my people, man. I do that. The notorious Dwan B up in the house doing this thing on All Things Historically, music, hip-hop, black culture. Yeah, man, we got a lot happening, man, you know, and it's important that we hold each other down. You understand what I'm saying? That's a dope thing, man. We hold each other down. What's up, Prophet with Yo? Prophet with Yo's in the building. What's up, Prophet? We always trying to profit. And I'm also trying to be a blessing. You feel me? I want to profit, but I want to be a blessing to others as well. Feeling very blessed last couple of weeks, man. Feeling very blessed, man. Very fortunate. And, yeah. I don't even want to think about the alternatives. Keep our friends in your prayers. We got good people going through hard things. Good people going through hard things, y'all. We want to give them all our support, love, and good vibes. Celebrate the good times, fam. Katie Lindsay up in the building. Thank you, Katie. All right, so look, guys. I got some stories to get to. I forget what the topics are. But I actually do know what the topics are. I picked them. So, but I don't know the order that I want to go in yet, you know? I'm going to kind of feel my way through the order of things. I will tell you, I'm open to audience participation. I like audience participation, man. I think that's where the love is, fam. Yeah, man, nothing like an audience involved. Get this off the screen, man. I don't want to advertise for these people. They ain't done nothing for us. I said they don't feel we're worthy of a merchandise deal. So, well, actually, I got to reach out to them, don't I? Yeah, Tim, they don't always reach out to you. You gotta be proactive, sir. I intend to be. You know, I'm not going to run anybody down. I'll just say, life is a mother. The one and only Black Mama's in the building. Thank you, Black Mama. Yo. Tonight's show is brought to you by the Tim Black Legacy mug. Find it right here. Tim Black Legacy, that's politics for the people. Legacy mug edition. $20 to your door. Politics for the people means just that. Politics for us. Not politics for the corporations, Not politics for either party. Politics for the people, Johnson. That's what that is. And we are in the house, man. We ready? We good? Let's get this thing going, man. Tobias Grove is in the house. Crime is in the building. Agent Black is in the house. He had to get creative with that one. Everybody had that joint. He had to get creative to use that one. Go ahead, Agent. Yeah, okay. We'll see where we at. All right, man, now's a good time to hit the like button as we proceed to get off into some content. Remember, guys, this is not a lecture. I'm not the professor, all right? I'm your friend. You know, you can call me your uncle. You can call me your brother. You can call me your friend, whatever, your next door neighbor. We're just having conversations. I'm a little overdressed because I just came from court. But I'm like a friend, next door neighbor that's not the one that annoys you. I've never played my music loud past 9. And, yeah. And I invite you to cookouts. So, I'm the good friend. I'm the good neighbor. You know what I'm saying? And like a good neighbor, Tim Black Show is there. All right, let's do this, fam. All right, man. My people. Let's see what we got. Hey, it's going to be two of me the whole time. I don't know if I can do two of me, man. I said, I don't know if I can do two of me. Damn, man, this thing, it's kind of freaking me out here, Johnson. That's crazy. I don't know if I can do it, man. Damn, man. Yeah, I'm about to let it go, man. It's going to look crazy. I got to use this content. This goes into the finished video. I can't be doing that. All right. Let's get it. Let's go with CNN mess to start us off, guys. Can we do a CNN mess? CNN has a lot of mess. Messy CNN. All right. But they're going to bring up a number of topics to give us some run room to talk our stuff, to have our opinions, a number of issues that are going to come up. Ladies and gentlemen, CNN.
This is stuff that affects real people's lives. Vaccines,
okay, that's not good.
We're in National Immunization Awareness
immunization.
Month.
I hear the criticism from
research.
this person.
Why is that? Why isn't that playing? Hold on a second here, Johnson. Okay, it was playing. Oh, I got my volume down. I'm sorry, Johnson. That's me. Let me see something. I'm sorry, guys. Volume issue here, I think. No, that's not the one. It's this one, right?
Stuff that affects real people's lives. Vaccines,
We're in National Immunization Awareness
immunization.
Month.
I hear the criticism from this person. I just have to say, he did use the term pregnant people in his resignation.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. If that is like the way you're presenting information, I have questions about your credibility.
Scott, it's so amazing.
It's not a ruse. He really wrote it down.
We are talking
about.
Okay, anybody here lost in the sauce? Let me bring you up to speed. The CDC official resigns after director ousted by Trump. A top CDC official resigned. And in his resignation letter, he wrote a bunch of stuff in it. And and Scott is dismissing everything he wrote because he also wrote in his resignation letter the term birthing person. And this is the face. Look at Scott, man. I like Scott, man, but he is punchable face Scott from time to time. Yeah, I'm not saying violence is necessary, but the face, look at the expression. He's torturing these Dems, man. Oh, man. He's torturing the Dems. The Dems catch hell from Scott Jennings, man. And see, this is when I know when you're in the sack for a party because Scott be owning these people. And if you don't recognize that, that's because you hate Republicans. And I get that. But just recognize when it comes to political commentary, when it comes to roasting and having some type of points, talking points, whatever, Scott's one of the best in the business. And I didn't come to that lightly. I didn't just go, ooh, yeah. So that's his whole premise. With that in mind, because it starts kind of abruptly.
Stuff that affects real people's lives, vaccines,
We're in National Immunization Awareness
immunization.
Month.
I hear the criticism from this person. I just have to say, he did use the term pregnant people in his resignation.
Oh, come
letter.
on.
And I'm sorry, if that is like the way you're presenting information, I have questions about your credibility.
It's so amazing.
It's not a ruse. He really wrote it down.
It's a ruse because people are dying.
This guy's not credible to me. That's all I'm telling you.
Scott, are you serious?
Come on.
No, he is not credible.
No. Are you serious that this is
yes, he did write it.
That of all the things that we're talking about here, immunizations, vaccines, autism, the research on communicable diseases, on cancer, and you are the most concerned about someone's use of the word people.
Yeah, because
that's the most important thing
because you were just complaining about the politicization of science,
that's
and
not
I can't think of politicization of science more than that, or of what some of these people said to the American people during COVID. So the credibility of some of these folks who are complaining. Look.
Okay, so
well, I'm complaining, and I'm a public health and preventive medicine physician. We in the NAACP are complaining, right? And we are an iconic civil rights and human rights organization. There is reason to complain, Scott. You have a person who, during his confirmation hearings, said that black people had a different immune system, that we should follow a different immunization schedule. You have a person who has spent his life undermining science, credible science. The people who walked out of the CDC, the people who resigned, these are not flippant folks. These are not people who did this on the slight of a turn. These are people who dedicated their livelihoods, who dedicated their hearts and their expertise to safeguarding the health of all Americans. And now we are compromised, not just from a health and well-being standpoint, but from a national security standpoint. What's going to happen when the next outbreak or pandemic arrives?
Play this because Scott seems to think that RFK Jr., who says things like this, is more credible than people who have degrees.
I literally didn't
in the subject.
But watch, I didn't say.
But watch,
why are you
watch
saying
this
I said that? I didn't say that.
When I was a kid, and I know what a healthy child is supposed to look like. I'm looking at kids as I walk through the airports today, as I walk down the street, and I see these kids that are just overburdened with mitochondrial challenges, with inflammation. You can tell from their faces, from their body movements, and from their lack of social connection. And I know that that's not how our children are supposed to look.
Science.
Hashtag science.
This is why Ajish Shah said, this is wacky, flat earth, voodoo stuff. Please, Peter Hotez, please send a few introductory biology textbooks to the Department of HHS. I mean, look, the reason, Scott, I said what I said is because rather than you seriously answering a question about the real concerns that were raised by these officials about the bending of science to the will of that guy, you decided that the most important thing to you was their lack of credibility because they used the word people. I mean, I just think I understand the rhetoric and the political.
You realize that you're accepting some politicization of science, but not others, right?
What's the politicization of science that's been accepted?
Can men get pregnant or not?
Scott,
we're talking
in the
about
CDC, and you believe that, I'm saying you're not a terribly credible person.
The CDC that is responsible for the health and well-being of the nation.
That has absolutely nothing.
Nothing
to do with
it does, because it's a question of whether your scientists are going to politicize or not, and you accept some and not others.
To do with the conversation that we are having.
I disagree. It's a credibility.
Why would we do that when people have died and are dying? Why would we do that when people's children are being dehumanized
in this country about real things? When everything just becomes about buzzwords
or political products.
I don't understand why you're rejecting this criticism of someone's credibility.
Yeah, because I think that what matters to people in their homes is whether or not they know what immunizations their child should have, which, by the way, immunizations have saved so many lives.
I'm not disagreeing with you about that. I agree.
What matters to them around the world is not what words are being used
I think it does matter,
by people.
Because it tells me what kind of person
it is. It is whether or not they can trust that the guy who's making decisions about their health actually knows what a mitochondria is.
Yes. And when we focus on imbecilic things such as that. That's why people are then subject to misinformation and disinformation, and they resort to violence, Scott. There was just a police. It's not violence. This is not a laughing. There was a shooting at the CDC.
There's attacks on ICE agents every day. Who's responsible for that?
Is dead. There are people rejecting the fact that people are
now you're blaming this.
I think
it is
Scott. You guys cherry pick these things like
we don't cherry pick.
Hold on a second, Scott. There's nobody who is justifying attacks against ICE officials. And nobody should justify or diminish somebody shooting hundreds of bullets into a workplace where people
are trying to save lives, where people are practicing public health.
So I don't understand why that would even be a comparison that you would make, honestly.
Because it's a great way to not answer the question.
Well,
exactly.
No
one excellent way.
Guys, we're way over our time here.
What question? Thousands of doctors, hundreds of thousands of doctors who probably don't use words that you don't like, who agree on the science. The science is settled when it comes to autism and vaccines. Definitely. They have nothing to do with each other.
Definitely.
Less than 1% of scientists suggest that there might be a link.
You seem to be very angry with me. I fundamentally agree with you.
No, but why do we have to get derailed by this political BS when you could just say, that's garbage and we shouldn't politicize science?
Because some scientists are allowed to politicize things and some aren't.
No.
And it depends on your politics, and that's how
that's
we
not
do
true.
it.
That is very much not true.
That's not true.
Here we are.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, man. This is a politics show. That's a politics show. CNN is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't know if I like this. Yeah, let's go back to this. We'll get it straight. I'll fix it at some point. Something ain't right. Scott made a couple points. He made a couple of errors as well, but the first point, I got to take that and say most Americans would not trust a person who would come out of their mouth with the term birthing person. Because that's taking us down. So, like, when you are the person who's in charge of the CDC or a notable figure at the CDC, and you come out your mouth with that type of ideology, like those types of thoughts, those types of, legitimizing the most kookiest stuff, I think it's just horrible, man. A lot of Americans just don't want to hear from you after that. That's true. It's like you wouldn't go, like if you found out somebody was a flat earther to the bone, right? You would look at them when they start telling you how to, do certain things. You'd be like, I don't know if I trust a flat earther guy. Yeah? The guy that believes in ghosts, haunted houses and shit. Like, you're like, and I'm serious. I don't see much difference between the haunted house loving guy, the haunted house believing guy. You know what I'm saying? The guy that really believes you step on a crack, you break your mother's back. I don't see much difference between that and the person that's walking around saying birthing person instead of mom. Yeah, I don't get it. So, yeah, that's a valid point. It's always a valid point when you bring it up. And what the hell would that have to do with his resignation letter? Why would you put that in the resignation letter? And if you didn't want it publicized, you probably would have left it out. So, yeah, and it just gave Scott something to say besides all the other stuff. I got to admit that the RFK clip was damning. We need to do things for kids because when I look at kids, I can see sick. That's it. That's what we're doing. We're just looking at people and determining their health level by just looking at them. I can see if their arm's hanging off. I can see if their leg is on backwards, but like you can't do a diagnosis just looking at people. You do have to be diagnosed. You got to do, and even those aren't 100%, but RFK, who is not a doctor, says he can just look at people when he walks down the street. I guess if someone's morbidly obese, you could say that. But you don't know why. You just know that they are. Anyway, so look, man. I was one of those people that said, hey, as long as, like, look, I don't know who was the CDC guy. Like, I don't know who was the Health Human Services guy before RFK Jr. was. I have no idea. I think most of Americans doesn't know either. And just the fact that it was RFK Jr. that was running for it or was picked to be that, everyone became kind of interested. Because he was also, now he was a Democrat. RFK comes from a Democratic family, well-known, storied Democratic. People call them the American version of kings and queens, right? The Kennedys. Big time, like no one else in the country is as, the story, all of it, right? With the Kennedys, it's big time, okay? So, for the way they demonize this guy, like anybody who believes that politics ain't a major role in narratives and all that stuff, look what they did to this guy. Remember, he ran as a Democrat. They wouldn't give him any airtime. He was a Kennedy. That tells me everything about the Democratic Party. And we haven't even gotten to what he's actually doing in a job, right? I'm still just talking about the fact it exposed everything about the Democrats that's disgusting about how and corrupt how they do business. Fam, it's like I can't even do a correlation between that and Black America. If you had an award show and you wouldn't let Denzel in, and said he hadn't shown he was a good enough actor to be at the award show. You know what I'm saying? Just think of that. Everyone go, this phony shit, this is horrible. What kind of award show is this? How could you not let Denzel in? How could you not let Morgan Freeman? How could you not let, I always forget her name. Not Vivica Fox. Damn. Tashina Arnold. Hey, Tashina. But you get what I'm saying. You get where I'm going with this? But see, the Democratic Party, they didn't let the Kennedys in. Get what I'm saying? Like the name Kennedy has social relevance. It has historical relevance in this country. And the fact the Democratic Party wouldn't even let him run fair and square. He had to leave the Democratic Party, run as an independent, still get bombasted, still get slammed. And then Trump was like, look, this is perfect. Y'all treated this guy so horrible. You shitted on him so badly. Come join me and bring your people with you. And now you want to complain, Abby? Now you had the audacity to complain about this guy, his job, what he's doing? He's only doing that job because of what your party did. And you helped do it. Because I don't remember you bringing RFK Jr. on the show and treating him with any respect. If you brought him on, I don't remember you being anything more than a Democratic Party hack when it came to this. And that goes for everybody. That goes for the entire cable news media across the board, Johnson. They all did it. So any complaints about why this guy has that job, if he's qualified, any of that, that's on the Democrats. And you didn't let him run against Biden or against Kamala, if you'd have treated him and Dean Phillips and Marianne Williamson with a little bit, and Cenk Uygur with a little bit of freaking respect, maybe we wouldn't be here. This guy left the party. Arguably people would say, his family helped build. It don't make no damn sense. So if you look at it like that, how could you and I expect to ever get a fair shake in the Democratic Party? How can some black guy from, Prince George's County, Maryland, get a fair shake from Prince George's County school system without money in my family, without, not a war hero, how can I get a fair shake in the political system running if you won't even let RFK Jr. get a fair shake? I mean, come on, man. So we got a bunch of delusional people running around pretending that the Democrats aren't full of shit. And then you on this very panel, you have Abby Phillip and the lady that's actually, I was going to stop the tape, but I was like, let me let it keep going. This woman sat up here and she said that the NAACP is a notable this and a notable that, and we're not happy. And I'm like, who's happy with you? Who the hell is happy with you? I've been saying the NAACP need to change their name to the Migrant Protection Organization. the LGBTQ tranquility zone or something. Because that's basically, and also just put Democratic Party behind your name. The NAACP is supposed to be a separate body outside of politics, and there ain't a soul on this earth with any common sense, ethics, or knowledge that would not say that the NAACP is in the back pocket, not only of the ADL, not only of Jewish organizations, but also from the Democratic Party itself, and the DCCC and the DNC. Everyone knows that. So her sitting up here on her, on her best preacher move, on her acting indignant, acting like she's being, trying to gaslight, and standing on that ground. That ground is soggy. I would not stand on that ground, girl. It's gonna be a stink hole. So that's a stink hole. Don't stand on that. It's a sink and a stink hole, both at the same time. But yeah, we got people that go along for the okie doke. And all I'm saying is so I haven't even gotten to the nuts and bolts of the conversation, but just, Abby. Well, listen, Scott. Listen, Scott, thank you for the ratings. Without you, I don't know where we'd be. But Scott, I don't understand it. I'm going to keep repeating myself because I'm losing the argument, whatever the argument was. And I'm going to continue to keep saying the same thing over and over, Scott, like your name, Scott. So that Scott, great Scott. Oh, Scott. No, Scott. Scott, stop. Stop, Scott. Hopscotch. Doorstop. Top notch. Food drop. Flip flop, dip dop, pip hop, hip hop, pop pop, bebop. Scott. But for Abby to be talking as if the Democratic Party, like she's saying, you're politicizing. You're politicizing. Come on, man. That's all they do on this show. And there's no real honest discussion. It's just a food fight every damn time. And the bad thing about it is Scott could be up against 5 liberals and still hold his own and basically kind of win on a technicality because you lost in the beginning. Because you can't just say, Abby can't say it, Black Lady can't say it, S.C. Cooper, whatever her name is, S.C. Cooper, she can't say it. Hey, women have babies. That's it. End the conversation. Any guy who says he had a baby is not a guy. Now he wants to be a guy. He called himself a guy, but he's not a guy. This is dumb. It's dumb. And it makes people's heads spin around like poltergeist when you say it. And it makes people tune out as soon as it comes out your lips. But because Democrats can never go against their party. As much shit as they talk about Republicans going with Trump like zombies, oh, Trump. What do Democrats do? They go right behind. But not just about the leader. At least Trump had to win his election, his primary 3 times. At least Trump won the primary 3 times. Democrats follow behind Democrats who stink, who lose like this. Oh, behind Democrats that haven't won shit. They follow behind them. So that's the disconnection, fam. And for a black voter out there, if you are still wrapped in, locked in, and trapped in this stupid notion that you got to be a Democrat to be a good black person, you missed the boat. If you think to be a black American, you got to be the party of Nancy Pelosi. And if you look at the Democratic Party and you think you imagine yourself that this is the party for black America, I say, how dare you put us on such a low expectation? It's not the party of black America. It's not the party of America. It's the party of migrants. It's the party of special interest groups and of donor money. That's what it's the party of. And let's not leave out war and double talk and false equivalencies and gaslighting and grandstanding and virtual signaling and a bunch of other nonsense. That's what it's the party of. And Republicans are the party of virtual signaling and nationalism and I got more bombs than you and lying to people and misusing and confusing poor white people. And just culture issues that mean nothing, then you got the Republican Party, and that's what it is. And no amount of nonsense is going to change that coming from any of this. The CNN is a food fight. It's a political food fight, and at the end, it's just a bunch of sloppy Joe mix, tater tots on the floor, nothing, just ketchup and mustard and some Texas Pete smeared against. It's just disgusting. Applesauce, potatoes all over the place. It's just a nasty trail of food all over everywhere. Nothing gets solved, and that's okay, because it's all about ratings. Stop, Scott. Stop, Scott. 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 Stop winning the arguments. I keep telling you, Scott. Scott, I got to invite you back because you're the only reason why this show is relevant. But, Scott, you have to stop winning. I mean this, Scott. I mean it. You have to stop winning so much. Let her win. Scott, stop doing your face like that. You're owning us just with your facial expression. Scott, Jesus, Scott. Damn it, Scott. Come back to my house for a nightcap. My husband's going to go out, and we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to put something in your drink that makes you sleepy. We're going to do you like that movie. That movie, the game where Douglas woke up in another country in a coffin. That's going to be you, Scott. That's what's going to happen to you, Scott. So you guys thought I was going somewhere better. I'm not going somewhere bad, Scott. Stop winning, Scott. Stop. All right. How's everybody doing? Are we still live? I don't know. Did they cut us off? I don't know. It's not scrolling. Anybody here? Yeah, Tobias said they're going to roofie him. That's it, Roof. That's it. Good one, Tobias. Thank you. Sherry Colberton, how you doing, fam? Good to see you. ABC Chill. Yeah, are we still connected? Are we connected? Yeah, we're connected. No, we're connected. All right. I don't know what happens with the scrolling. All right. We good? We good here, Johnson? Oh, there it goes. It's moving now. Okay, now it's moving. Thank you, Buck. Yeah, setup's different here on the comments. That's all I got for this one. Let's move on to the next segment. That was fun, though. Give it up for Abby, Phillip, and Scott in the mud wrestling. The World Wrestling Federation of CNN. One more time. Stop, Scott. Scott. I bet you she... Oh, God. Anyway. They're the best of friends. They're besties. They going right to the bank. Don't be tripping. Abby Phillip be home counting her money, looking at her bank account. She coming home with big stacks of money, taking out the bank. She be sitting back. Scott. Oh, Scott. Oh, Scott. Yeah, I could put up with him a little longer. That little raise we got from Scott. Let's keep it going, family.
This is stuff that affects real people's lives. Vaccines.
Yeah, it affects real people's lives. Vaccines. Okay, here goes a little doodad about Kamala Harris. Now would be a good time to hit your like button. Let's go.
Now to reporting first on CNN. President Trump is revoking Kamala Harris's Secret Service protection. That's according to a letter that the president personally signed. Now, as a former vice president, Harris is entitled to 6 months of protection after leaving office. But President Biden signed a previously undisclosed directive extending her detail for an additional year. CNN's Isaac Dubert broke this story. Isaac, you reviewed the letter that President Trump wrote. What did it say?
Well, it said this, Dana. It's a memo from the president to the Homeland Security Secretary, and it says, "You are hereby authorized to discontinue any security-related procedures previously authorized by executive memorandum beyond those required by law for the following individual effective September 1st, 2025, former Vice President Kamala D. Harris." And then it's signed by the president. That's the full extent of the letter. There's nobody else who's included in this. And this, as you said, she had protection that took her through July 21st, 6 months after leaving office. But there had been some threat assessment and concerns in the closing weeks of the Biden administration. And Joe Biden signed this extension of her protection. And Donald Trump revoked it with this letter. We have gone to the White House and asked them multiple times what happened here. They have not given us an answer. I can tell you that we've got more CNN reporting that says that we talked to the Secret Service, and they have said that the directive came fully from the White House. It was not driven by the Secret Service here.
Do we have any idea what the current threat assessment is? I mean, she is first female person of color to be vice president of the United States.
Yeah, and more than that, of course, she was the presidential nominee, so it was very high profile. She had, for the entire time that she was vice president, even before she was the presidential nominee, her threat assessment had been higher than many previous vice presidents, and that had continued to be the case. Obviously, with the presidential campaign, that made it higher, and this now is a moment where she's going from having spent the last bunch of months basically out of the spotlight to preparing to go on a book tour in the next couple of weeks. She's got this book about her time on the campaign. She's going to travel all over the place. But the Secret Service protection, I think it's important to keep in mind what it is. We often think of it as just like the guys in the sunglasses who are around the people. It's much more than that. They're guarding her home. They have intelligence assessment, looking at emails and texts and social media, deciding which threats are credible and which are not. All these things that can go on are going to disappear basically overnight as of September 1st, and she will be left at the moment with nothing in terms of protection. That means anybody could come up to her at any time, and she now has to figure out what security might look like given that.
Right, or get her own security, which is not cheap.
It's not cheap. Millions of dollars a year is the minimum estimate for it. There's also, I was in touch with both Gavin Newsom's office, California governor, and Karen Bass's office, the LA mayor. They spoke last night about this, and they're figuring it out. Karen Bass, in a statement to me, said that she feels like this is going to make Kamala Harris less safe, and it's egregious, and that she and the governor are committed to making sure that she does stay safe.
Great reporting, Isaac. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I wanted to see how they were reporting this on Fox News, but I guess we got enough to make an assessment here. You know, it's really easy to call Trump petty. Is Trump being petty? I know it's going to be people that think he is. Let's do this. Let's get some engagement going here, folks. Tim Black Wolfpack, is Trump being petty, revoking Kamala Harris' security detail? Give me a 1 if he is, and give me a 0 if he's not. 1 for petty, 0 for not petty. All right? Let me break this down for y'all. All right? And we're going to come to the conclusion ourselves. But let's start from some facts. Okay. 6 months is standard. 6 months security detail is standard after leaving office for a elected official. 6 months. Pence got 6 months. You can't compare Kamala Harris to Trump because Kamala Harris wasn't president. Kamala Harris was vice president. Presidents get lifetime security. Kamala Harris wasn't president. Now, if Biden would have dropped his ass out, made her president, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. I got to have Cammy come over here and take up the slack for me. I have been running the government for 3 years. I'm going to go ahead and bow out and make her president for now. I just can't do it. If Kamala ain't president, you ain't black. He didn't do that. He could have done it. Isaac Durive. Isaac, you remember me. We used to... You've covered me in your articles when you were smearing people that were critical of the Democrats back in, 2018, 2019. Isaac, why don't you mention the fact that the Democrats revoked Trump's security clearance? And he was a former president. Now that was unprecedented. It's unprecedented to revoke the security clearance of a president. And why they do it? Because of January 6th. Let me get this clear. Biden did not revoke Trump's security service protection. Former presidents received lifetime protection. Biden did suspend Trump's security clearance in 2021 due to January 6 concerns. I don't know what that had to do with it, but that's what he did. Biden did not revoke Pence. He just let it do the 6 months and then it ended. Now, follow me. Here's where I'm going, folks. If people feel that Trump was really trying to get Pence killed, remember that? Remember that? People were saying that Trump tried to get the mob to kill Pence. If that's true, shouldn't they have extended Pence's security? They didn't. He had a credible threat from a guy who's crazy. Remember, Trump crazy. He tried to throw a coup and take over the country, and Pence stood in his way, right? Why wouldn't you extend security clearance for him if that's what you believe happened? Why would you not extend the security clearance of a vice president who stood in direct opposition to Donald Trump during the January 6th shit? With the election was stolen thing, the big steal. Okay, so that's it. Last thing I say about this, and this is all facts. This is not, I haven't given my opinion. I'm just colorfully explaining the points here. Last thing, Kamala's security clearance is not being, Biden wrote an executive order to extend it another year. It's not like it's lifetime, Johnson. It's not like it goes forever. She's still in the public eye. She's still doing stuff. She's still out talking. She's talking about running again. I'm just saying, running or doing something, touring the country. She's going to have security anyway. How can Kamala Harris tour the country without security? As many people that she done locked up. So, to me, it's a big-ass nothing burger. Basically, wanted to give Kamala a news story, a news cycle. This is a layup. Here goes something to talk about Kamala and feel bad about Trump and hate Trump and feel sorry for Kamala because he removed the extension given by the former president, which he has every right to do. That's not etched in stone. No executive orders are etched in stone. You know that. So, yeah. It's not like Kamala doesn't have money. Kamala's got lots of money. She got lots of money to high security. She can handle it. Not to mention, she's strapped, remember? She ran on that. The person that was talking about we need to get rid of all the guns, meanwhile, she got a gun in her house. And she goes to the range like Annie Oakley. Remember that? She her own security. Let's be very, very clear. I got this. I got that heat. I got the blizzy. I got the blicky. That's it. I got the blicky. All right. So look, man, what it is, I'm not a fan of Kamala or Trump. I didn't vote for either one of these people. But I can tell you this. This is a big-ass nothing burger in my opinion. That's my opinion on it. I want to see what you think, though. What do you think? Let me answer the question. Yes, Trump's being petty. All that being said, yeah, Trump being petty. He could have just not gave her a news cycle. But like, screw it. Yeah, like this is one of those things he didn't have to do. I don't see the upside in doing it other than saving us a few dollars that we'll never know we were saved because it'll go somewhere else to something that doesn't help us at all. This is America. That's how it works. And when we say, hey, what about this? People will say, we can't afford it. Damn it, Tim Black. Damn it, blacks, we just can't afford it. Why do you always want things that we can't afford? I ain't even tell you what I want yet. Doesn't matter. If it helps you, we can't afford it. And that was it. That's all I have. I'd like to know what you guys think. And like I say, yeah, it's different ways to look at it, but the facts is the facts. This is not, she got her 6 months. She got her 6 months, Johnson. I don't know if you know, but she should have been suspended. If he was really petty, he could have suspended that shit as soon as the 6 months was up. Okay? You know what I think it was? Kamala's probably running around right now talking shit about Trump right now. He's like, I'm securing her. Right now. I'm paying, it's coming out of my budget to protect her big mouth ass. She ain't even an elected official anymore. She already ran out her 6 months, and she's doing it on my administration budget dollars? Hell no. Hell to the no. A lot of y'all wouldn't pay child support or spousal support if you were no longer married unless you were ordered by a court. Ordered by a court. You pay child support, but you wouldn't pay. You wouldn't pay no damn spousal support. I don't know why I threw that in there, but it sounded good. I was thinking about it, but it's stuff in there. It's kind of different. But you would not pay the spousal support of somebody you no longer liked and were no longer obligated to pay for just for shits and giggles. You'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to giggle over here and keep my money in my pocket. Well, that's how America feels. That's how America feels, Johnson. To this day, we got people saying Trump didn't get shot in the air. He shot himself in the air. That's a ketchup container. That's off a movie set. And to you, I say, if that's true, that means all corporate media is shit. Even the people you like watching. Because they went along with it. That's what that would mean, wouldn't it? All right. That's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments section. It's the Tim Black Show we brought to you Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here at 10:30-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time, moderated by the best moderators in the business. Come here, be here, join us. We keep it funky. Next. Good times, Johnson, good times.
Now to reporting first on CNN.
What else do we have, man?
A new CBS News data analysis shows how the deployment of National Guard troops is affecting crime in the nation's capital. According to the data, violent crime is down by almost half when compared to the same nearly 3-week period last year. Assaults are down 19%, burglary is down 48%, and homicide is down 57% from August 7th through August 25th. And for more on this, let's bring in John Kelly. He's CBS News Vice President of Data Journalism and our data guru. John, good to have you on. So break this down for us. Did you find anything surprising or unexpected in your analysis?
Sure. We found a lot of interesting things, Tom. We really wanted to look at what is going on with crime incidents across D.C. in these few weeks since we had these federal troop and law enforcement deployments. And so we're able to look at every incident of crime and its location, and we can see things that are related, we think, to the presence of an extreme amount of additional law enforcement. You know, we're seeing less violent crime incidents reported to the police, at least. Fewer assaults, fewer murders, fewer gun crimes. One of the things that's been plaguing the city with auto thefts down 36%, and so we looked at this time period of these few weeks that there have been these deployments in the city, and we compared that back not just to the same days last year, but we wanted to look over the longer haul too to see if the trend lines held up. And we've seen this decrease is pretty similar. It's a little more than half if you look at the 5-year average. And so there's less at least reported crime going on. Now, that's a complex situation, right? There are a lot of factors that can contribute to that. We can't know for sure how these deployments are affecting that, other than the presence of additional law enforcement and military personnel in, key locations downtown.
John, one of the things I want to talk about, there's a lot of information and some misinformation about the location of where these troops are versus the crime rates there. You looked into that. What did you find?
Well, one thing that's key is that crime incidents are extremely evenly dispersed across Washington, D.C. And a lot of people, everyone comes with their perception of how they feel or what they experience and what they see. But in general, the data over time shows that the crime is pretty evenly dispersed throughout the city. And so there were a lot of talking points around, well, the federal troops and the federal law enforcement officials have been deployed in places that are lower crime areas. And for a couple of these locations on the National Mall, that might be the case, or near monuments. But in general, what we found was that within a half a mile of the confirmed locations for every one of these, incidents, we're seeing in general a higher than average crime rate and incidents clustered around those locations. These are some of the higher crime low areas in the city. The areas north of the mall and north of downtown are areas that have seen a lot of growth in crime incidents over the past few years. And so those are areas where there had been a lot of criminal activity. And so the deployments, in some place like U Street, have more concentration of crime than you would see in 90% of the neighborhoods across the city.
That's really interesting. John Kelly giving us the data analysis behind the headlines. Such critical work that you do. Thank you for coming on, John.
Thanks, Tom. Good to see you.
Wow. Okay, Johnson. Okay. Let's talk about it, Johnson. Let's talk about it. I know it's a lot here. Damn it, Johnson. I want to hear somebody talk to me about what's happening with people on the streets. And what I mean by that is, I want to know how my people are being treated. How are black men being treated in the city now? I'm concerned with that because I know we got activists in the streets saying it's a war zone, we're being treated like, this is happening, and black people are being targeted, and I'm like, I'm not hearing these stories. So I want to open my platform up because I want to give voice to those who are being harassed. If that's the case, it's hard to imagine that we're not getting footage like that. You understand what I'm saying? I was one of the people that said, I'm on the record, fam. I said, if they do this lockdown, if they add these additional law enforcement people that serve as law enforcement, because they're really law enforcement, and there's shootings, if there's brutality, that's going to look bad real quick. It's going to be very visible. It's going to get a lot of attention because we all know the liberal media is going to report the hell out of it. And I'm saying, where's that reporting, man? Yeah, where's the reporting? Now, under Biden, maybe you wouldn't hear about it as much. People being, the corporate media wouldn't want to report on it. But we're talking about Trump. Anything Trump does, anything that results from it. I mean, I watched footage of a person that had been in the country, kicked out 3 times, crying in the courtroom because he's getting kicked out the 4th time, and they showed that as if this guy wasn't illegally in the country 3 or 4 times. But if somebody broke in your house 3 or 4 times, and they was crying in court because you kicking them out, because ICE came to get them after they got left court, you would not cry about that. You would be like, he ain't supposed to have been in my house. So what I'm saying is the media has a way of having a certain narrative around a certain issue and covering that and leaving out key elements. So what I'm saying is if this executive order that's put these additional personnel that are being used as law enforcement around the D.C. area and it was resulting in police brutality, we'd be seeing that because I'm sure ABC would lead with it. CNN would be leading with it. It would be everywhere. You would not be able to escape it. Now, I know there are people that no matter what I say, they won't listen because, they know better. They hate Trump. They don't care that there are people who've been living in neighborhoods that have very high crime rates, to them. What I do like about, because they hate Trump so much, they're willing to sacrifice poor people or people that are living, in bad situations around a lot of crime that are victims. They're willing to sacrifice that because, they don't want to get Trump a win. Instead of looking at it as a win for the people that are there, who now can go to their mailbox or walk home from the metro at night without fear. I mean, it is what it is. I do like what the guy said here. He said, look, this is crimes that are reported. Remember, not all crimes get reported. So always take it with a caveat. Right, everybody don't call the cops when they get assaulted. What they gonna do? Right? Somebody hits you. Someone assaults you. Do you call it? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But that does not mean it didn't happen. It just means you weren't there to see the tree fall in the forest. But that mofo did fall. The squirrels know. So yeah, so I don't, like I said, I want to hear about how life is for people. Social media is so misleading. Everything's misleading, And what I mean by that is, I get these videos, people, black folks saying things are better, right? I get those videos. And some of them are rejoicing, man. They're happy as hell. Going, this is better, this is good. Why aren't Democrats happy that there's less crime in my neighborhood? I'm seeing these things. And I don't know if these people are just trying to get clout. I don't know if they're being real and they're just doing this to build up their social media accounts. Because let's face it, that's one way to build up social media. I don't know if other videos are being suppressed, where people are complaining. And if I bring somebody on, is that going to be indicative of really what's going on? Or is it just this one person's experience? But what I can tell you, that I think is total bullshit, and I'm going to double down on this, is this whole thing about ICE wearing masks. Yeah, this whole thing about ICE wearing masks, and people are so afraid because ICE has on masks. This is bullshit. You know how I know? Because I've been robbed with people. I was robbed back in the early 2000s by a group of men. Me and my friend, me and my brother were robbed by black guys in masks. And I knew they weren't ICE. You know how I knew? Because none of all the clothes. I knew because of the vehicle they got out of. I knew because of what they were dressed. I knew when they talked. I knew when their hand was like this. Okay, I knew they were thieves. I didn't go, oh God, is this ICE trying to deport me? Nah, it was some thugs, literally thugs, robbers, ganking me for slipping. That's what it was. I wasn't confused. I didn't think it was a notorious Mexican gang trying to deport me to El Salvador. Okay, so this is overblown. This notion, and I know we got a lot of liberals and people that call themselves progressives that think they know something, that think they're doing the Lord's work. Motherfucker, you are just defending something because you are taught to defend it. Okay? If you don't have a license and a cop gets behind you, you scared. That's anybody. If you are living illegally, undocumented is living illegally, and the cops are out on the prowl, every time you see a cop, your heart do like this. That's not the cop's fault. It damn sure ain't Black America's fault. It's not our fault. We don't make the immigration laws. We don't control that shit. And we don't determine if you got your paperwork straight or not. You having paperwork straight has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with the black community whatsoever. But this whole idea that those people who feel that way because somebody got deported or somebody got picked up and processed by ICE, cut the cap. There's a real crime going on. That happened to me in D.C. Okay? I was robbed in D.C., and I'm just telling you, I wasn't confused. There was the DHS was operating, the INS was operating at that time. I think that was pre-ICE. So the INS handled the immigration, IMS, I think it's called. So so this idea that people don't know what's going on. Yeah, I've seen videos. Who are you? Who are you? How do you know who you are? You know who they are. You know who they are. You know, it's 4 white guys. They don't got on Klan hoods, mofo. You know who they are. You know. Get your paperwork straight. Last thing on this note. Violent crime, man. Violent crime is a bad business. This idea that black people are okay with it, untrue. Untrue. And see, the Democrats never listen to black people when we say it. But what we're also what we're also against is being abused by police. And what I mean by abuse, I mean harassment. I was looking at some crazy statistics where they were like yanking people up. Yanking up brothers, yanking up black men, particularly, just randomly. And like only 2, it was like 150 black men have been harassed, and only like 2, had any type of infractions or whatever. So the percentage of people, the number of people that they were harassing and accosting and ruining their day was 98% of the people, they ruined their day for no reason whatsoever. And that's okay, right? Unless you're those people. Get what I'm saying? Yeah, unless you're those people. So this is the problem. This is the dilemma. But when you have so many things wrong in the community, from the schools are shit, the job opportunities are scarce, the housing is expensive, the entire system is broken, careening, it's in a ditch, and it's built that way. It's been that way. It's systemic. You're going to have a lot of factors before you can turn the ship around. And it's like, nobody wants to turn it around. They just want to throw people in jail and think that fixes the problem. But now you just created more kids at home who don't have dads. Created more situations that lead us back in the loop to where we are. So I've been saying, and I'm taking the time to go through the whole record, because I know I'm going to have people that watch this video won't watch to the end. That's disappointing, but we got to make it clear. I support both. We got to have a police presence. We got to take care of kids. And we have to take care of kids. Once I take care of kids, we got to take care of kids who are committing violent acts. We also got to take care of kids who need our support, who need a community behind them. And if you don't take care of parents, you ain't taking care of the kids. Okay? You have to help the family. It's a unit. It's a unit. So unless you're willing to deal with the entire scope of things, you're not really doing it. You're not really doing the job that makes it better. You're giving a Band-Aid, you're grabbing a news cycle, you're running up the ratings, right? That's what you're doing, unless you're serious. If you're serious, then what I'm saying makes sense and it's worth looking at. And all that being said, 0 homicide is pretty impressive. 0 is good. 0 may not be good when it comes to your bank account or when it comes to your check after support payments. But 0 is damn good when it comes to how many people died last couple weeks from cop shootings or from civilian shootings or homicides. That's good. And if you're sitting back and you're calling yourself an humanitarian, you're saying that you support the black community, I don't care I don't give a damn if you're Democrat or Republican. I don't give a shit about that. You care about that, I don't. But if you're sitting back and you are not acknowledging that 0's good, yeah. If it was higher, Democrats would be taking a victory lap. Yeah, if it was higher, it'd be the other way. They'd be talking about, look at Trump. It caused it to go higher. Look what he did. Oh, no. Oh, no. But it's lower. It's almost non-existent. And people are like, but what about that over there, though? I saw a squirrel running, and that squirrel looked hot. That squirrel was so hot, he was drinking a bottle of water on the corner. He was sweating. That poor squirrel was sweating because of Trump. They was patting down squirrels in the park. They done tore down their homeless embankments. Those were beautiful monuments to the homeless people in our neighborhoods. Those are beautiful things. We got to have that. The feces that was in the doorway of those businesses, that's important. Mwah. That's the pride of D.C., those feces that the homeless be leaving as little gifts and tokens of their appreciation. And I know this because my wife worked in D.C. and she worked for a nonprofit, one small nonprofit. And every morning when she came out, they'd have to spray down the front, the foyer, the outside foyer right there, the entrance, because the homeless was shit in it. And you ain't used a garden hose till you had to clean up human feces every morning. Yeah, you might change your opinion, liberal, progressive, when your wife has to clean up a grown man's shit in front of the building. That's fun times. But I know you'd love to do it. You jump right out of bed. Da-da-da-da! What you doing, Bob? I'm going to clean this shit. I love cleaning up human feces. This is fun. I look forward to it. Brightens my day. So we got a lot of people that are not being realistic. They're unrealistic. They're unrealistic and they're fools. No one likes to clean up human feces. No one. No one likes getting mugged on the way from the metro at night after a long shift. Oh, great. This is great. Getting mugged is fun. This is fun times. Okay, so I just try to present both sides of the argument because if you cut on CNN, you ain't going to get both sides of the argument. If you cut on MSNBC, you ain't going to get both sides of the argument. You cut on Fox, you damn sure you ain't going to get to both sides of the argument. Come on, Johnson. You cut on Newsmax, you might. I don't know. News Nation, not Newsmax, News Nation. Cuomo, but see, that's more like jumping on both sides of the fence. Cuomo and Stephen A. Smith, they kind of just jump on both sides of the fence. I'm trying to give you a balanced view of it. And I'm saying, in my utopia, if I ruled the world, if I ruled the world, if I ruled the world, I love them, baby. You would be mine, we'd all shine in its new days and times. Yo, if it was me, man, what I would do is I'd want both things done. If it was me, I'd say we're going to increase security presence, and we're going to have wraparound services. And we're going to make sure kids have somebody at home when they come home from school. And by doing that, place for them to go, and we're gonna invest in our communities. That's what we do. And you know what we'd see? We'd see a reduction in crime. You'd see a reduction in crime. Facts, you would. But it'd be slower. You wouldn't be able to grab a headline by locking people up. You know what I'm saying? But that would help. It would help long term. Because what's going to happen soon as Trump leaves? What's going to happen soon as the troops, when they go back? Get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, we clear? Okay. Enough? All right, we're good to go. All right, family. Let's go. Where are we at? Where are we on time? Oh, hour 23. Pretty good. I'm not sure I got much more to talk about. I know I got at least one more. Maybe two. Let's see what we got. Now would be a good time to hit the like button and let the algorithm know that you love the show. Also, I didn't put a goal up, but we're trying to get to 300 likes. It's Friday, but we can do it. Let's get 300 likes. Share this to your social media. That's all I'm asking. Share it on social so that we reach more eyeballs and we get people engaged in the show. All right. It's just a damn shame. Most reasonable people would say we need both. And they understand the likelihood of us having both. See what I'm saying? So I think the people that disagree with me about the services, about helping the families, about helping the communities, They only disagree because they doubt it'll happen. You know? And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that in the black community. It's not that they disagree with certain policies. It's just like, they're like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Man, we can't even get them to fix the potholes around this mofo. But I'm being serious. So, like, sometimes with the brain processes, you ask a question, and they're not processing the question. They're processing, is it realistic? Okay? And that's when you got to be cognitively aware. You got to be able to, like, see... You got to be able to understand the culture of the people you're talking to. Black Americans have heard so many lines of bullshit that they just jump forward through the process of what has happened or not. Understand what I'm saying? Get where I'm coming from? So since they know they ain't going to spend no money helping our communities, they haven't done to this point, just keep us safe. Put a cop up there. You know what I'm saying? And that's... because they know the likelihood that the federal government will invest in D.C., not for beautification on Pennsylvania Avenue, right, but actually invest in the communities outside of the district, outside of the direct line of the White House or the Capitol. You know, that's pretty thin, pretty unlikely. So they have their doubts. And that's because they're not stupid. But I don't say on this show, it's not about, I advocate for what I advocate for. And I don't do so trying to read the future and trying to determine what's likely to happen. For things to happen, things have to change. We got to be a part of the change, fam. We can't just settle for the way shit is and go, well, they're not going to do anything. So, well, we got to change that. We have to change it. I mean, if we don't try to change it, how is it ever going to happen? We're just never supposed to have it? All right. Man, I got nothing but love for y'all. Hit the like button, y'all. Let's keep going. Yeah. Where are we at here, Johnson? Kamala canceled.
And we can do it. And here's the thing, just like we did with Black women. I was on one of the first, I think it was the first phone call. It just, to see the numbers, somehow we were able to see the numbers just rise as the number of women who were getting on the calls. It's just like, wow, we do know how to mobilize. We do know how to set an agenda. Just watch.
Okay, so, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, man. I just didn't know Jesus. Is this Kamala's sister or something? Nah. Okay, check this out, guys. This segment is about fan base. It's about media, okay? And there's going to be some arguments made about black media and what black media needs to do. My critique off the tippy top is that these people are Democratic Party hacks. Okay? And when you got Democratic Party hacks, you can't tell me nothing about media, because the type of media that you want to support is just all out of Democratic Party lens. For instance, how she started this off. She's juggling Kamala's ovaries for no reason at all. Kamala don't need you to massage your feet. So she's talking about what black media need to do, starting off with, we need to help a black woman. She ain't black and you didn't help her. You took money out the black community for a losing cause. Good job, Tamisha. Way to go. Kudos to you. Wasting money that could have been invested in our communities instead into a failing campaign that anybody with eyesight could see wasn't going to go anywhere. Instead of you being upset about that, using your platform to address it, to address the mind-controlling stupidity, the mind-numbing dumbness, and the corrupt, instead of addressing the sheep-herding effect of many cable news anchors and pundits towards the Democratic Party, you just want to further it You want to enhance it and then call that political will, political grit, and call that us unifying. What good is unifying when you're unifying behind corporate bullshit? What is unifying when it's behind candidates that don't really speak to our issues? What good is that? But that's the issue. Let's continue. I'll try not to interrupt her further as she digs a hole that she won't be able to climb out of.
Do it. And here's the thing, just like we did with Black women. I was on one of the first, I think it was the first phone call. It just, to see the numbers, somehow we were able to see the numbers just rise as the number of women who were getting on the calls. It's just like, wow, we do know how to mobilize. We do know how to set an agenda. Just watch the numbers go from 1,800, 18,000, 50,000. We were able to see it. So my point, Isaac, is that this is the same urgency we had then. That's the same urgency we need to have now in getting everybody on fan base so that we can have, we can have our entertainment. We can have our social media fun. But the main thing is we have to get our information to our people, and we have to get our stories told accurately to our people, particularly right now in the state that we're in right now with this administration. And going forward, this is a late call.
Yeah.
This is a very late call. We should have already done it. It shouldn't take for the government to come into our neighborhoods to start pulling our sons and our daughters out of cars for us to say, oh, wait a minute. We need our own platform. We need our own media. No, it shouldn't take for us to be dead lying on the street. It shouldn't take the administration to begin censoring media companies for us to say, oh, we need our own. This is a late call. This is urgent. This is now. Download fan base now.
There's Black media, but we don't use it. We don't leverage our media in ways that are truly beneficial. As soon as Donald Trump won and Elon Musk took credit for it, over 25 million people left X and went and downloaded an app called Blue Sky.
I did.
And Blue Sky was sitting up at the top of the App Store. Blue Sky is not better than Twitter. It's nowhere near as good as Twitter. It doesn't have the functionality or the capability. But white people simply stood on benches and said, we out. We're going here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Simultaneously, TikTok looked like it's about to get banned. What do all the Black media sites talk about? Everybody's going to Rednup,
Mm-hmm.
Chinese-owned company. Everybody's going to Lemonade. Not one of them said Fanbase or Spill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. They just repeat the same things that they say. And I told people, I said, you understand that all y'all talking about Blue Sky like this, they're going to get so many users
Yeah.
that they're going to go right back around and be able to raise capital to beat Twitter. Mark my words. From January, February 2025, you're going to see Blue Sky raises something at $1 billion valuation. And maybe about a month ago, they said they're raising at $700 million valuation because simply people just moved there.
Mm-hmm.
And my point is, that's what I mean by we need to operate as a monolith. I mean, there's 42 million Black people in the United States of America. If 42 million people downloaded fan base that were Black, that app will be at the top of the App Store. I promise you my phone would ring and somebody would give me $200 million at a $2 billion valuation. And I could hire every engineer that worked at TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and build whatever the hell we want to. That's what I mean by moving as a monolith. We don't put our foot on the scale collectively to move things. Everybody hates Tesla. Have you ever heard of a Black EV maker? His name is Derek Bailey, and it's called Derek Automotive. Now, when all that stuff is going on with Elon and everything, where was the grill? Where was the shade room? Where was Baller talking about, oh, let's all go buy his car? That's what I mean by Black media don't use Black media to do nothing.
Okay, so I guess my question is, and this is from someone who's been in the media for 30 years, if I'm in a newsroom, who's telling me? I want to know, was there a press release? Was there an editorial decision to make to not put him on? I can't imagine the Grill would do that. So I'm just wondering, editorially speaking, and in that newsroom, did someone say, no, we're not going to promote that Black man in his EV? I doubt it.
I guarantee you in existence, every single solitary type of business that exists right now in America that a white person has built, a Black person has the same one.
Okay.
I guarantee you there's somebody out here trying to start a Black airline, somebody trying to start a Black movie studio, a Black television network, a Black hospital, a Black everything. All you gotta do is get on Google and look. Pick them, And let's run it up.
This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun right here, John. So what's up, Informant Media? All right. Perfect time for the Informant Media to come through, Johnson. All right, people. There's so much wrong about this segment. It's just ridiculous. There's so much to get to. Let's see if we can. Let's start from the top. I guess I'll start it the way I ended my first monologue on this. What good is unifying if you're unifying behind some bullshit? And let me clean up the language, because this is going to go out as a video. What good is unifying if you're unifying behind something that's not actually helping our communities? See, it's not just about unifying. It's about what are you unifying for? Okay? And I don't see it not demonstrated in this clip at all, what she's talking about here. When she's talking about black people, the reasons, Tamisha Harris, the reasons why, and she gave reasons why we need to do this now. We need to be accelerated now. The reason we need to do this now, because black people are catching hell now, particularly under this administration. Here's what I know, fam. Trump has been in office not a year, not 1 year. I'm sure more black people were killed in various ways during the Biden administration than during this 1 year of Trump. I don't have to look at the numbers. You know, typically I'll go through the numbers. I give you numbers on stuff. I will give you the data. But I don't have to give you data on that because you're not a fool. You know more people died under Biden. More black people were brutalized, shot, murdered, stabbed, killed, whatever, under Biden's 4 years and under Trump's 9 months, right? But why should we be now more accelerated? Because you're a party hack. And that's the reason why what you touch turns to shit. Because that is dying. That premise, that idea, that politics is dying. Black America's rising. We're getting out of the carcass of the Democratic Party. We're moving away from that. You are so 2019, 2014, you're 2008. You got 2008, 2012 politics. Them days is over. We're moving beyond that shit right now, particularly black American men. We're moving beyond it, and our women are waking up as well. It's over for that. When she says, we all got to go to the fan base because the black and brown people are being blah, blah, blah. Yo, what does fan base have to do with black and brown people you saying getting pulled out of cars? First of all, black people ain't getting pulled out of cars more than we've been pulled out of cars by cops on traffic stops randomly that have happened over the years. This, once again, stop with the black-brown coalition bullshit. If a U.S. citizen is pulled out of a car illegally in this country, I'm pissed about it. But if you have a warrant or you're undocumented and they can prove it, they have a right to pull you out the car and pull you out into a courtroom and then pull you out of the country. That's what they have a right to do. The same way they pull black people out of cars for warrants. I'm tired of this stupid nonsense. And this is disgusting that we got an extra clip and I'm highlighting it. And it's a sister trying to equate black people to undocumented people or equating my Latino American citizens to undocumented Latinos or Asians or Haitians or Nigerians or Ukrainians or Czechoslovakians or whoever they are. All right. So that's it. This basically all Isaac Hayes is doing is trying to get money for his app. That's all he's trying to do. He's trying to get money for his app. And one of the reasons why you're not getting money for your app is because your app it's just not that impressive. It's a lot of apps. What makes your app great? Why won't you spend some of this time to talk about the greatness of your product instead of talking about what white people are doing? And for the record, a lot of black people left Twitter too. A lot of black people left Twitter and went to Blue Sky. I didn't, because I don't want to be around the people that left to go there. And I spent my time building up my Twitter following over the years, and I wasn't willing to vacate it because of Elon. But a lot of black people left Twitter because of Elon, but not because of Trump, just because it got overrun with a lot of right-wing nonsense. The algorithm's kind of shitty. Okay, it's just what it is. But I'm not leaving it because I'm not there for fun. I'm there for funds. I'm there for business. I have a brand. I have to keep my awareness up. And I didn't feel like going to fan base. I went to fan base, nothing went on. You reached out to celebrities that are above my level. I'm a Z class, whatever I am. Y class, I don't know what I am. But I have a brand. Can't do something for 15, 14 years on the internet and not have a brand. Look up Tim Black Show, it comes up. So it is what it is. But the bottom line, what Isaac Hayes is complaining about is fan base's unpopularity. And he's complaining how white people made blue sky, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's because some people tweeted it out. Some people shared where they were going. I don't know why they did it. They did it. Okay. And to be honest, what turned me off to Isaac is that your politics don't match my politics. You are very politically, the fact that you were up on Twitter, canvassing, politicking for Kamala, turned me off totally, man. Yeah, and I know I'm not the only person. When I saw you doing that bullshit, and it was like, she's a black woman, it was nothing substantive. It just said vacuous, hollow, dead-brained, dead-eyed, goofy shit where Kamala's a black woman, so we need to get behind her. And my dad made the music, and that we have to stand for. And what the hell are you talking about, bro? Sir, this is not how people of substance conduct themselves politically. And there is nobody, I feel, that should follow behind following a political candidate or supporting them or giving money. And I'm sorry, I left this part out, guys, in my rant. This woman's bragging about how much money they raised from Kamala, from black working class women. You should have used that money to build up black communities. We should use that to create incubators for businesses, not to give to a failing campaign that siphoned money out of our communities. And that, to me, is a dereliction of duty. That, to me, is disgusting, neglectful. You, one of the first on the call, one of the first helping propagate that in your newsroom, that bullshit, to me, is an infraction. That's a disrespect to what we should be about as journalists. Kamala is a hack. That's what she is. She's a Democratic Party operative. That's all she is. She had 4 years under Biden to create the momentum necessary to run for office. What you think, Biden was going to live forever? Okay? She should have been touring the country then. She should have been writing op-eds. She should have been doing more than what she was doing. That's what she should have been doing for the 4 years. That's on her. But then what'd you do? You took money out of the black community. And you act like black people don't support anything black. We do. We just support what we think supports us. We support what we think supports us. But you used black women's need to see themselves represented in a woman who is not black, who when she became senator and attorney general, it was touted as the first Asian Indian. And then when she started running for president, she became black. And that's what Trump said, because that's what it was. That's how it was advertised. And never did she correct the record. Never did she say, no, I'm a black woman. So, it just got goofy and silly. And my real point, the final point on that note is to raise money and take it out of the black community and put it into a political campaign that ended up funding Oprah and Roland and Al Sharpton and Megan Thee Stallion and Kelly Rowland. I think that's disgusting. I got nothing, I have no problems. Twerking's a thing. Right? Twerking's a thing. Booty clapping's a thing. For that to be done at a campaign event, and you're up here talking about responsibility and performance and excellence and this shit. Were you there? Did you see this, Miss Tamisha? Next, he ended it on, we need to be a monolith. He said we need to be a monolith. We need to be a monolith. No, we don't. We need, you know what? Only if we're fighting for something that helps our communities. I don't see how fan base helps us. I don't see how Kamala helps us. I don't see how the Democrats are helping us. They're helping themselves. And for the record, Tesla is down. That's true. But everybody doesn't hate Tesla. Everybody doesn't hate Tesla. He just said everyone has Tesla. I don't know, it's a throwaway line. Just because he wants to compete against them. So he says everybody hates him. I don't know if everybody hates it. I got my issues, but that don't mean I hate Tesla. Last thing, black business and something here I don't know. This is the only thing he said that I agree with, is he said there are black businesses that are doing everything. Anything that you need, anything you're looking for, there's a black business somewhere doing it. Now, you got to vet the business. You got to vet it, right? I'm a good investment because I've been doing this for 14 years. I have a track record of doing this. I've done this on various levels. I'm self-made. I've been profitable from day one. Know how I know? Because I had no money to start. So I've been profitable. Not many people. Quiet as is kept. A brother been in business for quite some time, right? I've been in business. This is a business. It hasn't folded. So I've had to restructure, rebrand, redo, whatever. I did that shit. I've done that. I've had to do that over the years. So you got to vet out the businesses that you support. And they got to be businesses that are aligned with what your vision is or what you want to support and ethically, morally, whatever your criteria is, right? I'm not for everyone. But what I'm saying is just being black is not enough. It's enough to be considered if that's what you're looking to do, support a black business. It's enough to be considered, but just because there's a black in the category does not mean you need to go get behind it. See, fan base just sounds to me, and this is where, when I had this conversation with Toraine Walker, and we're talking about Wallow complaining about black businesses that did not handle their business, and just said, I'm black, give me money. And he had a problem with that because he said, don't nobody care about that? Where's your performance? Where's the customer service? Where's the products? Where's the deliveries? You got to be up on your game. You got to handle your business. I agree. I've had deaths in the family, major outages, weather, tech, whatever. But you know what Tim Black does? He does this damn show anyway. He does this damn show anyway. Much more reliable than Umar, Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar wouldn't have to need to raise money if he wasn't so lazy. I see this all the time with people. They lazy. I could say it. These people are lazy, Johnson. Not because they black, because they lazy. They are lazy. There are people that grind it out like me. I've been doing a show 3, 4, 5 times a week for the past 13 years. Would Dr. Umar really need money if he had a show that was airing twice a week for the last 10 years? That he was creating revenue from that show to dump into his organization. Would he really need you? Would he? No! But you know what that would require? It would require him actually doing work. He'd have to be somewhere. He'd have to stop whatever he was doing and do that, not fly by night, video here, video there. Talking about some woman sexy. Oh, black woman so thick. Oh, no, I'm talking about an actual product that he delivered on a consistent basis. Look at the Joe Budden podcast. Look at the Breakfast Club. These are businesses that make money. Look at the $1 Million Worth of Game. Look at so many of these vehicles out there. Look at Phil Scott. Look at the Black Authority. Look at Tariq Nasheed. Say what you want. Consistently over the years, delivering a product, changing it, revamping it, rebuilding it, putting it out. Work. Putting in the work. These people are lazy. Where's the shows? Where's the content? Where's the effort? So to Isaac Hayes, I'm not saying I'm not here to knock your app. I'm not. I just did not see incentive. I don't need to be on every platform. You got to admit, there's a lot of competition in the space, the app space for social media, right? And I don't need to be on every app. One app, 2 apps, 3. I'm on 4 apps. I'm on 4, 5 apps. Well, I need to be on a 6th app. What is your positioning? What is your value that you're going to add to my business for me to make you number 6? What is it? You black? That's it? Well, ushering me to the Democratic Party, other than giving me content to roast your ass with, is you continue to sheep herd black people into the Democratic Party because you feel that is the party of black America. Other than that, I don't see an upside for me. Other than fodder for my cannon of pow, ranting and raving, I don't see it. You know? I don't see a lane where this makes sense at all for Tim Black and the Tim Black Show. Okay? So it is what it is. But once again, guys, this is just my opinion based on my experience, based on what I know in this space that I've been in social media. I do not think it's a flex that black women raise money for Kamala at the drop of a dime. I think that is an indictment of black America, and that we could have done that for issues that are much more important and much more valued and can have more of a return for us. And what'd she do? She turned around, lose that election, couldn't even bring her ass outside to give her concession speech to her sisters. And then, what did she do? I'm not running for office. I think I'm going to take a break. I need some time. Look, Rick, but yeah, you gave her all that money. Now she don't even want to do shit. And you're not even saying anything. You won't even criticize her. Why? Because you are hacks. You're not a journalist. You're an opportunist. You're a careerist. And you're not in it for the people. And that's not what this is supposed to be about. But it is, Johnson. In the words of Paul Mooney, it is absolutely a business, Johnson. These people don't care about you. They care about their wallets. Tim Black, the sooner you learn that, the sooner you learn what's really going on. Everybody want to be a ninja, but nobody want to be a ninja. Everybody want to be a journalist, but nobody wants to be a journalist. And they all want to line their pockets with their money. Comedians coming out telling you who to vote for. Talking about she dated Willie Brown and Montel Williams, as if that makes her a prize pick. She better go ahead with that white man, that director from Hollywood that she got with. Get her to fund her campaign. Why not? He's funding all other types of movies. And that's what she was, an actress, a bad actress. Shirley from Good Times could have did a better job. Or was it What's Happening? Shirley with the Afro pick could have did a better job. She was a better actress. R.I.P. Daniel Spencer. All right, Johnson, that's all I got for tonight. I'd like to thank the Tim Black Wolfpack, my moderators, Ebony, Black Mamba, and Buck Bewley, for all you do. I know you don't have to do it. I appreciate you assisting. In tonight's show, I want to thank my people that support the show, my Tim Black Wolfpack, to become a Tim Black Wolfpack member. And I have a new freebie coming that's going to be available first for my members. Go to jointimblack.com or go to Tim's Take Live on Patreon. You'll see this bald-headed mug and just join up. Starting at only $5 a month. A month to join. And yeah. And shout out to Always. Shout out to Katrina Prater. Shout out to the one and only Fearless Mind. Katie Blapp. Katie Blapp. What's up, Nene? How you doing, Nene? Good to see you. Black Rose. DeAndre in the building. AT. Sophia. What's up, Sophia? Sophia crying. Why are you crying, Sophia? My top fans of the week are Black Mamba, Katie Lindsay, Gumby Pokey, the one and only Buck Bewley, Valerie, Andre. I could tell by the pictures the names are changed here, guys. Trust No Party, Agent Black, Tobias Grove, A.T., Sherry Covington, True Dotarian, Ebony, H. Stacks, Katrina Prada, El Polo, and the names that they using your sign-ins And some of you don't use your sign-in names, but it's listed here in top fans, which is cool. I like this. I get to see my top fans, fam. Yeah, this is dope. All right, guys, that's all I got, man. Nothing but love for y'all. Have a safe weekend, please. Please. Have a safe weekend. I don't want to hear no bad stuff happening to my people, man. Look, I don't have enough great people in this community for something to happen to you. So I need you to be safe, be cool, stay out of harm's way. Let me know if you got story ideas. Send them to Tim at timblacktv.com. Do me a favor, y'all. If it's something you want me to cover, suggest it. Like, hey, Tim, I don't know if you saw this. Check this out. This might be good. Might be a good thing to cover. Or maybe you could cover this when you get time. Or could you check out this story, man? It's, but someone sent this, and I don't know who they were. I got a feeling I know, but I'm not positive. They were like, why aren't you covering this? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, slavery was a long time ago, and I was never personally a slave. And for you to talk to me that way makes me not want to cover it. So don't be a dumbass. Don't do that. You're abrasive for no reason. And I hope that you're not affiliated with anything that you're promoting, because they need better people. But you take care now, all right? All right, guys, that's all I got, man. Why do people act crazy? I don't know. Tell me, they act crazy. It's the internet. I don't know. I had to get that one off. All right, guys, that's all I got, man. Much love to you. Where are we at here, Johnson? Do I have anything here? Yeah. I don't know. That's all I got, fam. Be straight. Be real. Remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. You let somebody take your cornbread, you are violating the Constitution of the Tim Black Wolfpack community. Do not do it. Keep said cornbread in thy cupboard. Keep your cornbread, Johnson. These people trying to take your cornbread, man. Enough is enough. All right. Where are my ladies? Oh, I don't even have that video loaded up. I can't even end the show like I used to. I got to get things set up, man. I'm going to set things up tomorrow. So Sunday we can be full mast. Welcome to the bullpen. Peace.